Hello everyone and welcome back to Direwolf 20's Let's Play. This is episode 35. You can see I've just been messing around with my glowstone factory a little bit. I haven't made any changes, but it's cruising right along, producing some diamonds for me out of glowstone, and I'm loving every minute of it. Okay, so while that's cooking again, I am going to head over, and there's a couple changes I want to make here. First off, it has to do with my recyclers. Okay, so let me get started. I'm going to snag some of these mod items. I actually don't want this guy, but what I do want... That's right, a standard teleport pipe, not an oil teleport pipe. So what am I going to do with my recyclers that involves teleport pipes? Good question. I'm going to set stuff up like that. So now this guy should alternate back and forth, dumping whatever comes in randomly between these two recyclers. That should be cool. And then the recyclers get output, like so, and forced downward here. But I no longer want them going into this pipe. That's right, I want them going into a teleport pipe. I do, however, want that, this guy to continue going to here, because this is where all my coolant cells wind up. Alright? So, what do you say we grab our teleporter pipe, and stick them on the end of this guy. And I'm going to go with frequency 3. And we do not want this to be able to receive items. Cool. Okay, now I need my wrench here. Give him a good old whack. Excellent. Now, these guys are going to output items into this teleporter pipe onto frequency 3. Awesome. Lay down this pipe here and set him to be frequency 3. Oh, we've got a connected pipe, that's awesome. Boom. Now what should happen is, as scrap is produced, it should get teleported straight over to my mass fabricator. Let's give that guy a try now. Let me go make some scrap real quick out of, dirt, why not? 21 dirt should be a good test. Now, these guys should evenly distribute between the two machines, because it's going to be random. It won't be perfectly even, but it should be randomish. Yeah. And that's fine. Random is okay. I don't need it to be a perfect 1 for 1. Now let's keep an eye out for some scrap. Oh, there it is. Should come out this way and head straight over to my mass fabricator. Now I no longer need to manually move any scrap that I produce into my mass fabricator. Remember, this guy is constantly running off of excess energy that's being created. Here comes the scrap. Ta-da! That's pretty cool, if I don't say so myself. Now it looks like it's not using the scrap quite that quickly. That's okay. That's because it's not, the reason it's not using the scrap quickly is because it's not receiving full power. It's only getting any extra juice that's not being used. So I'm curious how much energy is running through this cable at the moment. Let's take our EU reader here and take a look. 0, 54, let's give some time for this to average itself out over time. 32, that's cool. So that, remember, is any excess energy in my system is getting sent over here through that crazy piping and wiring system that I made downstairs a while back. Cool. So now we no longer need to manually set up our stuff. Now any scrap we produce automatically gets pumped straight into that system. Now there might be some overflow. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But I will keep in the back of my mind that there might be some overflow there. And if there is, then I will resolve it at some point. But for now, it should be pretty good. And look at all the scrap I have. I'm going to go ahead and just stick a full stack in that guy for now. Manually. And I presume that if this guy was getting enough energy, there would never be any overflow. Simply as a result of it would use up the scrap so quickly that no amount of scrap production would be able to keep up with how fast this guy's going. And also, scrap doesn't get built that quickly. I mean, it takes a while. You know, you get one every now and then. So I don't foresee this being an issue of overflow. So that's cool. Now, there is something I do want to create. What do you say I put right here an item? What kind of item is Direwolf going to build now? Very good question. Now, I was using the insertion pipes for this previously, but you probably noticed that sometimes with the insertion pipes it doesn't perfectly work out. So I really want a system that really doesn't waste anything. I'm going to use obsidian pipes. These guys are pretty cool. And I believe I have a couple extra redstone engines here. I do. And the obsidian pipe is great. So, what do we want to do here? I'm thinking. And thinking. Yeah, I really want this guy to be open. Sorry, buddy. I bet if I laid this stuff up here, it would be just fine, probably. Yeah, that works just fine. I am going to need another one of those redstone torches somewhere. Beautiful. So, what's obsidian pipes do? I'll show you that right now. I believe they need an engine. So let's lay down that. And where am I going to put this engine? I don't know. Just taking a look around here. I think this is as good a spot as any for an engine. I'm going to throw down an obsidian pipe like so. Let's go like this. Yeah, but I don't want them there. Oops. I don't want my obsidian pipe connected to this system, but I do want it just above it. So let's try it like here. So that should be good. I don't know if this is long enough to reach, but hey, this is me experimenting. Haven't used these guys too often. I've been using the insertion pipes for the most part. And now I'm going to hook this guy up to some juice. Cool. That worked. Okay. Now the obsidian pipe, I'm just going to run this dude like so. Actually, I want this guy here. Marvelous. Yeah, I don't think that works. That does. Excellent. Okay, so the obsidian pipe is a vacuum pipe, and what it'll do is it'll vacuum up any items nearby as best it can. So if there's items on the ground, kind of like I showed you last night with that alchemical chest thing, I just want to try this. Only because I haven't built too many of them. Oops. I am making a mess, look at me. Okay. Do I have my black hole band? I do. See how nice that little thing is? Alright, so the way this should work, I might be wrong. If I throw like an item here, for example, will it get sucked up? No. Well, that kind kinda worked. I think the stronger the pump, the longer the range of the obsidian pipe, but I don't want to use oil pumps for this. So let me just basically erase everything I just did, because I am not digging the way this works. I thought it would be cool, it's not. So I'm going to do this a different way. Obsidian pipes are neat and have their purpose, but I have a better way to do it, because I have equivalent exchange. You should be able to figure out exactly what I'm talking about, and if you can't, you'll find out in a moment. So let me go sleep through the night and prepare for the next item I'm going to build. Okay, so first off, I make myself another alchemical chest. Probably make a couple of them if I really wanted to, but I'm good. This guy, and I need another piece of coal. Excellent. Alright, can I remember this recipe off the top of my head? That is the question. I think it's something like this. What am I forgetting here? Oh, I need iron. I was close. Okay, alchemical chest. Cool. And I'll save these dusts for another time. Remember, these dusts here can also be used to repair items. Obviously, that's not much of a big deal when you're using industrial craft and you have all these electrical items, but if you were just using equivalent exchange and you had like a diamond pickaxe, for example, and it was getting low on usability, you could just combine those guys. Alright, so I've got my alchemical chest. The next thing I want to do is build another one of those rings. And my vulcanite amulet gives me an iron band. Remember, you can use a lava bucket here. It doesn't have to be a vulcanite amulet. Okay? Unfortunately, this is not a new ring. I might be making a new ring today, but I'm showing you that the black hole band that I have has a cheapo recipe to duplicate them, just like the other items. So you should have figured out where I'm going with this by now. If I drop this guy here, get rid of him, and we throw in our alchemical chest, nice, and we throw in our black hole band, extra nice. Now, any items that land here as excess, like basically they tried to fill up a recycler and it didn't work, will automatically get sucked back into the piping system via the black hole band and sent right back out. Ta-da! I'm just dropping items here, and look, they're getting recycled. Yeah, no, I'm recycling cobble. I'll live. And of course, they're randomly allocated there. So let's go grab like a couple stacks of dirt and see how well this works. Grabbing 3 stacks of dirt, dumping it in the machine. So I'm going to probably grab a couple more stacks of dirt. Ta-da! Now I'm going to give this a minute and see if I can get these machines to fill up, and we'll watch what happens. Actually, I could probably just fill them up manually if I wanted to. I think I should do that. What do you guys think? I'll just stick cobblestone in there. Dirt's not going to want to go in there with cobble. Wrong button. So now what should happen is as dirt tries to go in, of course it's not going to because it's going to be annoying. Let's fill this guy up too down here. Dirt's going to try and go in and it's going to say, oh, I have problems. But you can see it automatically disappearing. What's happening is it's coming back into the chest automatically because of the black hole band. So basically there's no chance for overflow, ever. How cool is that? I think that's awesome. Never will my chests have any overflow or wasted items. And now, they're all sending their way back down. Nice. we'll let the dirt process it once more. So how cool is that? I no longer have to worry about overflow. Let's go get some wall patching material here. Oh, I need to make some more stone. So there we go. So that's my recycler. Excellent. And just checking in to see that any items that do get recycled are automatically sent over to my mass fabricator. Hooray! You know what? I feel like it's time, just because that mass fabricator is getting all these cool items to recycle, why don't I give it some energy to do some cool stuff with. Direwolf, why is there this little wireless receiver up here on frequency 20? Well, I'll show you in a moment. Let's head downstairs. Alright, I do have an excess amount of tin here for empty cells. And look, frequency 20. It's pulsing as items go through them. What's that about? Well, I was saying to myself, you know what, I never know if I have tin down there or not, and I have a good way to find out. Well, now I do. If I put redstone in, and a few seconds later I see this little guy here start to pulse, and this could easily be a light, it could be kind of anything really. Anything that accepts wireless redstone signals. I just know it's working because it's pulsing. And if I was out of tin, for example, and there wasn't any empty cells down there, I would know that it's time to replace them because this guy wouldn't be flashing when I put redstone into it. Cool. So let me get ready to show you guys something new. And just so you know, now that I'm reading the energy on this line here, it's pulling at about 74 of tech instead of the 54 tech it was before because, our geothermal generators are running. And remember, any excess power is being sent down this wire. So everything our geothermal generators are doing right now is excess because this guy's full. Fullish. Of course, he's fluctuating a little bit to keep these guys running. So that's pretty neat. Okay, time for a new equivalent exchange item. What do you say? I say that sounds good. So, let's get ourselves some Mobius fuel here. Somebody posted saying they cringe every time I turn uranium ore into Mobius fuel. And to that I say, I'm lazy. I know, it's not that hard to make Mobius fuel, but there's a lot of steps involved. I should make a little mini factory at some point. And hey, I can always at some point turn coal and goldstone into Mobius fuel, and then Mobius fuel back to uranium, so I'm just saving time. Okay, got 8 blocks of diamond. Gonna be making 2 dark matter here. Cool. Let's put our diamonds back. Our Mobius fuel can go back home. And I'm now going to make some pretty cool items. You know what I need? Wood. I don't have any wood at all. Look at me. Let me go get some wood. Okay, just got back in, got about 19 wood, that should be good. We'll see how this goes. Okay, now, I need some string and I need some feathers. I hope I have enough of these. Okay, I didn't have enough string, so I'm just turning one piece of bone into some string. I think that'll be enough now. So let's make ourselves... I lied. Oh, no, it's good. Oh my, not enough room in my inventory. Let's do this. Okay, got some bows. And I, of course, need another ring. That's right, that's what I'm making for you guys today. A new ring from Equivalent Exchange. I can also put away these cobblestone pipes, of which I have way too many. Okay, so let's get ourselves a new ring. You can probably guess it has something to do with arrows, right? Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna use 2 dark matter. The Archangel's Smite. This ring is cool. Don't let me lie to you. It is awesome. This guy, forget about it. Let's go find some animals to harass with this ring. Alright, found a couple cows. Alright, first off, I don't have any arrows in my inventory. Who cares? I can still shoot. Oh, what happened? That's right. Not only do these arrows, does this ring not use arrows, it actually converts cobblestone and dirt and a couple other items into arrows, but it also shoots homing arrows. So, let me try that again. Nice. It can also be charged up with V. Don't ask me what it's using for fuel, because I really don't remember. Maybe it's using glowstone or redstone. And if I activate it with, I want to say, G... machine gun. Let's see, is it glowstone that it's using when I charged up? No. It's using something in my inventory here, I don't know what. But, yep, that's the Archangel's Smite. Pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Alright, let's head back to my base and see something else to show you guys. I decided to come check on my quarries, and I discovered my combustion engines are running a little bit low on oil. So I'm going to remedy that. Here comes the oil. Okay guys, I think it's time to do something new. I'm going to need a couple... Well, this isn't going to be terribly new, but you guys have seen this a couple times. I think it's time... I grabbed the wrong iron. What kind of dummy am I? I think it's time to finish off that nuclear reactor that I built outside a while back. Yeah, I think now's a good time to do this, don't you? Sure. So let's grab some compressed iron. Make ourselves some mixed metal ingots into some good stuff. Now, that's going to be probably not quite enough, so I am going to need... Hoy, I'm getting low on stuff. Let's turn this guy into copper. Turn these guys... Oh boy, what is it, this? Yeah, something like that. That looks good. Sure. I really need to go mining again. It's been a while. Sure, I can convert my diamonds, but hey, mining is kind of fun. So let's split these guys up, and these guys will collect the alloys that I've collected already. And we'll get started on what we need to make. Now, first off, I'm going to get rid of the tin in my inventory, as well as my iron. Okay. I actually need a few more of these. So the first thing I'm making is 2 more of those reactor chambers. Okay, and I'm going to need to convert these guys. Boy, I am really low on components for stuff. Okay. Alright, let's see, what do I got over here? A couple coolant cells, excellent. I'm going to need some copper cable. I hope I have a good amount. I have enough. Let's give this bronze back. Should probably clean up my inventory a little bit, but I'll be alright. Grab myself some lapis and glowstone, because of course I need to make a couple more pieces of iron here. Okay, so this guy with this and this, and I believe it's copper on either side. No? What did I do wrong here? Oh, that was close. Nice. I can put one of these down. Something like this, this, and we've got a nuclear reactor chamber. You guys have seen me make a handful of these, I'm sure. And I need one more now. And put this back. And grab a couple more coolant cells. Really need to go mining. Oops. Hooray! 2 more nuclear reactor chambers. Now remember I said that reactor chambers, the most you can have is 6, and we already have 4 out there. So I'm effectively finishing up my nuclear reactor design at this point. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy on the top, and this guy on the front. Awesome. Now, let me go look at a reactor design and I will be right back. Okay, so 2 things to note here. 1, I obviously have 2 more columns worth of stuff to do. And number 2, you'll notice that one of my uranium guys is gone, and the other 2 have turned into near depleted uranium cells. So I'm going to collect those real quick. I had left this nuclear reactor running at one point, and it drained out all the energy that it possibly could. So, and all that energy, of course, went as excess into my mass fabrication. So I'm going to take those guys home and just kind of tuck them away for a while, because I need to build another nuclear reactor to take advantage of those. So for now, I'm just going to stick them in my location here, and I'm going to get cracking on. I need to do the design I'm about to make. I'm going to need about 5 more of those little integrated heat dispensers and a few more cooling cells. So let me get cracking on those. Okay guys, so you can see here, I'm just making the last of my cooling system. So I need to put my last one of these guys in. I am super low on resources at this point. I actually had to convert a couple things just to get, the ability to make these last 2 items. But I want to wrap up this segment, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's head outside now to our nuclear reactor, and I will need more coolant cells, so I'm going to stick those into my coolant cell production system in just a moment. But I think I'm just sneaking outside real quick. Hopefully I won't get myself into too much trouble being out here at night. Maybe I should just go sleep through the night real quick. I'll just have a creeper sneak up on me and blow up my nuclear reactor. Wouldn't that be fun? I think not. I do need to make my compressor real quick. While I'm doing this, I'm going to make 4 more uranium cells. It's the compressor that does that, right? Yeah. So, I'm going to rearrange the system real quick because it needs to be a little different than what I originally designed for this new reactor type that I'm making. I'm actually so low on resource at this point that I'm going to steal a handful of empty cells from my geothermal generator system. I really need to get mining. There we go. But like I said, really trying to wrap up this segment for you guys, and that's good. I'm going to need 5 more, I think, of these guys. So let's get them going in the compressor. I think I just recycled my, yeah, I did. Ha! Funny. Be careful about dropping stuff in a room like that, because, as you can see, I just recycled my, water thingy. Oh well, I'll get it back in a minute. I'll recreate it. No, I didn't recycle it. I got to it in time. Nice. Yep, be very careful with this little system here that I've designed and showed you. If you do duplicate it, don't drop stuff on the ground, because they will not Maybe I should turn an on-off switch for this thing. That's what I should do. I should make an on-off switch. That way, when I don't want to be recycling things, I won't be. Yeah. To-do list. On-off switch. Okay, where was I at? Yes, that's right. I was going to dump my... Oops, I put it in a compressor. See how silly I am. 5 of these into my extractor. Now I need to go grab 4 more of those empty cells, because this reactor design is going to use 4 uranium. And this is another one of Nargon's reactors. While I'm waiting for this to go, I'm gonna head outside real quick and just show you the reactor design. These guys actually sit in here like this. So, this is actually an efficiency 3 reactor, because every piece of uranium has 2 touching it. So this guy is being fueled by this guy and this guy, so he's producing 3 times what he normally would. And the same here, this guy is getting this guy and this guy producing 3 times, so all these uranium cells are producing 3 times as much power. Therefore, they're producing 3 million units of energy per uranium cell in here, each one of them. And you can see I have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coolant cells. So let's see if they're ready. Oh, almost. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, there's a couple extra in there. I'm not worried about it. Those were from earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, this guy looks nice and full. So what's cool about this reactor design is it's no longer a Mark 1 reactor. Remember I told you guys that Mark 1 reactors, and I should go get my thermometer while I'm talking. Mark 1 reactors, I think I just... No, I still have a little bit of left. Mark 1 reactors can run forever and will never explode, no matter what. They will consistently run, they will never explode, no matter how long they run. Mark II reactors, which is what this design is, will explode eventually. However, these uranium cells will run out before this design explodes. So, what does that mean? That means that we can get 1 full use out of this reactor before it explodes. These uranium cells will drain out and they'll stop producing heat, and this reactor will not explode unless I come back here as soon as they're empty and fill it back up again. This is known as a Mark II-1 reactor because it can only run 1 cycle of nuclear cells before it explodes. There's other reactors, like for example a Mark II-3 design would be able to run 3 cycles before exploding, but this can only run 1 cycle before exploding. What's great about this is it has that high efficiency mark, efficiency 3, and it produces a good amount of energy, as a matter of fact. Let's go in here, grab my trusty energy reader, and it should be off at the moment, and it is. If I flick the switch to on, oh, I'm getting 60 energy units per time. That's much better than the 35 I was getting earlier. And these guys will produce 3 million each. So this nuclear reactor right now, if I just left it running, would not explode, but it will generate a significant amount of heat, but it won't get to the point where it explodes. And it'll produce 12 million units of energy, 12 million EUs. And then once the uranium cells are depleted, it'll automatically shut off, obviously, because they're depleted. And all the coolant cells should cool down at that point. If I measure this guy, you can see he is generating a bit of heat, slowly but surely. But according to the math on this guy's forum post, it will not explode. It won't explode until, unless I put, like, multiple uranium cells in here right away. Like if I, as soon as these were drained, put more in, then it would produce more heat, and it wouldn't have had time to cool, and that would have been bad. So, that guy is running. I'm actually going to turn him off for now because I don't need the energy at the moment, but I wanted to show you guys that reactor design. And with that, I think it's a good point to wrap up episode 35. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all later.